We need to talk about Bitcoin. Today, I'm here to share my expectations for the crypto market in 2025, alongside which I will give you 4 different Bitcoin price predictions, and I will also explain the story behind each, so you can decide for yourself which one is more legit. And on top of all this, I will showcase how I use AI tools to predict possible market peaks. Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. In the past 5 months alone, I got to explore 4 different countries and do pretty cool things like living next to the Pacific Ocean or climbing Machu Picchu. My flexible lifestyle as a digital nomad was mostly made possible by my skills navigating financial markets, where I made most of my money with Forex and crypto. However, this is a highly speculative video made only for fun and entertainment, so you should not take it as financial advice. And with all that said, let's see what time frame I expect Bitcoin to peak. Since its creation, Bitcoin has peaked every 4 years, 1 year after the so-called Bitcoin halving, which gives us this pretty cool cyclical chart. Some people might also argue that this periodic chart is also influenced by the 4-year presidential cycle in the United States. Either way, we have no guarantees that Bitcoin will follow this pattern forever, but in the past 10 plus years, this trend was some kind of a golden rule for both Bitcoin and also for smaller crypto assets in general. For example, there was a Bitcoin all-time high in 2017, then there was a next peak, a double top actually, that took place in 2021. And as promised, we already got our latest and greatest Bitcoin peak in January 2025. However, this year is still far from over, since Bitcoin has 8 more months to go even higher. So let's start with prediction number 1, according to which I expect Bitcoin to hit $340,000. The explanation behind this prediction is very simple and straightforward. Bitcoin has to do nothing special, just repeat the very same thing that it did the last cycle. And if I go to my chart and measure out the distance between the bottom of December 2018 all the way up to the tippy top in November 2021, my measuring tool will show me that Bitcoin increased its value a little over 2,100% in 1,066 days, which translates to an over 21x return in less than 3 years. Now, if I grab this measurement and drag it over to this current cycle, it predicts an incredible 340k peak around October 2025, which number would make me super happy because I accumulated a significant amount of BTC under the past couple of years. To get prediction number 2, I used the very same method, but instead of measuring the chart from bottom to top, I measured the percentage distance of the 2 previous Bitcoin tops. And according to my charting tool, between November 2017 and November 2021, so under 1,431 days, Bitcoin has increased its value by 248%. Applying this measurement to the current Bitcoin cycle, it predicts Bitcoin to reach $239,000 in October 2025, which is still a very optimistic number, as the price point of BTC is hovering slightly over 103k at the time when I'm rolling this video. And since these first 2 prices seem a bit too elevated, I will give you a little more down-to-earth approach with my 3rd prediction. As I haven't yet given you the full picture when I talked about Bitcoin's 4-year cycle, since BTC not only makes a new top every 4 years, but it also follows the rule of diminishing returns. This means that as the market cap of BTC increases, the asset itself also matures, and as each asset grows up, their ridiculousness slowly goes away. For example, moving the chart of a $1 trillion asset 1% takes 1,000 times more money than moving the chart of something that has only $1 billion market cap. Long story short, as Bitcoin's market cap increased over time, the consecutive highs on its chart became less and less elevated. For example, if I measure the distance between the Bitcoin top in November 2013 and December 2017, I will see an increase of 1,542%. But if I measure the distance between December 2017 and November 2021, the increase is much lower, only 248%. Now, if I put these numbers into a sequence and ask AI to predict the upcoming number, the AI will give me 40%. And if I go back to my measuring tool, this 40% predicts the price to peak around 97,000 US dollars, which is very close to the point that Bitcoin has already reached, meaning that according to the rule of diminishing returns, Bitcoin should not go any higher, leaving us with the result of 109k, which was already reached in January. However, this scenario looks pretty dark, so here is my fourth prediction to end the video in a slightly more optimistic way. What you will see now is my very own method, and I have never seen anyone else using it in the community. It measures how much Bitcoin bounced every peak year from a local low before it put in a final top. In 2013, this value was 1,798%. In 2017, it was exactly 1000%, and in 2021, it was only 140%. Now, if I put these numbers into AI and ask it to predict the upcoming number of the sequence, it predicts a 50% bounce in the year of 2025. The most recent local low of Bitcoin was 75k, and a 50% bounce would mean a new all-time high at around 112,586 US dollars. And if you ask me, in my opinion, this is the most realistic prediction out of the four. It is not the most optimistic price, but it would still allow us to see a decent altcoin rally that was so far missing, and this scenario still respects the rule of diminishing returns. I would be very happy for the first two predictions to become reality. However, my gut feeling says that we are not going to see Bitcoin hit over $200,000 this cycle. Such volatility is much more likely to occur on the altcoin market with smaller cap coins. If I go back and extend the trend curve that Bitcoin religiously followed since its creation, without a single exception, the absolute maximum I think we could see by the end of 2025 is at around 140,000 US dollars. However, seeing this channel break to the upside would be very exciting. If you guys have your own ideas on how far Bitcoin could go, let me know in a comment, as I'm always open to new concepts. Also, if you'd like to see more videos like this, then subscribe to my channel. Thank you for sticking around all the way, and I'll see you in the next one.